getting ready to go to engine supply with some bottom ends, but I thought you guys would think this is cool. A Prius with two 2Js in it. I guess it can handle it. This is one of last year's motors. They're gonna go through it, see what's, you know, wrong or what needs to be replaced. If not, then maybe we got lucky on some levels. This is a customer motor with a stock crank in it and some miscellaneous parts put together that they're gonna go through. This customer had bought it from another company and wasn't happy with some things, so we're gonna double check their work at Engine Supply, because Engine Supply does super good work. That's what's happening right here. I'm about to put a head and some cams in the back there too, in front of these, but I just thought it was pretty cool to see two 2Js in the back of a Prius. Alright, gotta cover them up with some engine bags right now. You guys haven't seen Mason in a while. He's growing his Viking beard out. And then Matt, sometimes Matt works out, maybe 5-6 days a week.
Not on Mondays.
That's why he's all swole right now. All right, we gotta get this out of the Prius. So what happened?
I don't want to talk about it.
Dang it. He just mic'd the crank. 60 thousandths under. That's because they did an offset on the crank. So we gotta check all this stuff and see if we can make Edgar happy over here.
This is standard is 2" 47.
Yeah.
Something like that. Right now we're at 1" 888. We talk inches around here.
Something cool happened today. Wisefab visited the shop. I got a Wisefab hat. Tarmo from Wisefab came to California this week, so he stopped by a couple local pro drifter shops. Good things are happening. That was really cool. Wisefab, check it out. What would we do without Wisefab on our Supra? That would be sad. We are headed to the machine shop, and today we're gonna talk about Brian Crower. We're going to the machine shop with this grocery getter. Today our groceries are BC 3.4 stroker cranks. These are the lightweight, so it's a BC 5309 lightweight LW. These are my favorite. If you haven't noticed, I'm one of the only people in Formula Drift that still runs this. Everyone that has a Supra that wants the torque, they get these, because you need these when you want that low end torque, and it's a go-to for Supra guys. It's a really good crank. Never gave me any issues. Super clean. The reason I have these ATI dampers, these are gonna be mated to these cranks. The ATI is a little bit over or undersized by the littlest bit, so you kind of hone it out, and then after it's honed out, it'll be able to tightly fit onto the crank. So we're gonna go have Engine Supply check both of these, hone them a little bit, and then they're gonna check these, balance them, or check and see that they're within spec. It's just good to check this stuff before you put it in a race motor with all your expensive parts. Soon after that, we'll be getting some Carrillo rods and CP pistons that we bring over there and make sure that our blocks are ready when those show up, so we can just assemble everything. So we're getting a head start on the beginning of this year's race motors. What's the Viking doing today?
Oh, you know, pretending like I'm working?
You're always working. Ooh, did you just get done working out? Let's zoom in. He's probably just, yeah, he just got done doing push-ups. How many push-ups did you do today, man?
None.
He's all serious. I gotta go. It's too serious over here. Whoa.
Is that bad?
Hey.
Oh no.
I got the camera. Wait, is this like Sherlock Holmes over here? Uh-oh.
Looking if it's
Needs new tooling.
looking if it's a 60 thou width or 40.
I can't see that. I need a magnifying glass too. Okay, let's get the cranks out. Alright guys, name your favorite billet company. Billet parts manufacturing company. There's a lot out there. One of my favorites is Radium. They make some really cool stuff. Why is my phone always ringing? It's Brian. Okay, I'll be right back guys. Brian's got a silver Supra. We need to talk to him. Turbo came over to see what Radium sent back. So Radium has updated their FCST for this year. They kind of revise and upgrade as they go, I guess, on lots of their parts. Before it used to have like a quarter turn for the pump electrical, and now they went this way. I think that was so that while you're at the track, if there'd be like a pump issue, instead of like in the terminal, there's like a bunch of different connectors in there, you can just like swap over to another pump. 3 feed pumps, 1 lift pump. But I only run on 2 of them, so I could do that for 1 and 2, and then they're going. Let's say number 1 had an issue and we were able to tell because our PDM told us pump 1's having an issue. You just move it over here and this becomes your pump 1, and that's kind of perfect. It's really cool. We're pretty happy about that. This is like user friendly for racetrack. You never know when the issues will arise, and when they do, you don't usually have very much time to fix them, so I like that. The other thing was that all the fuel pumps join together inside there and then come out here for 1 feed line. That part I might not utilize as heavily as some other people might, because I like to do 2 feed lines, so I might just come out of here with a 10 and go to a 10 to 8Y and head that way with 2 8s, just because that's what I want to do. You don't have to do that, but I like to feed both ends of my fuel rail. Some guys are just going to be happy with a big fat -10 feed and run it that way. That's a plus side here. And then the cool thing about these is it's a ORB, which means O-ring boss. I've told you guys this before, union to a AN. So you could get this off and reduce or increase the size, because you could get a step up or step down union, ORB. So that part's really cool too. The other parts of the Radium are very similar to what they always were over here for your lift pump hanger section, and the pumps inside are similar except for the portion of the inside that combine all the pumps feeding into one. They hooked us up with a new remote fill neck, a new gasket there, a new gasket here, and the hardware needed and the ring terminals needed. Thank you for the parts and the refresh, helps out a lot. And let's get to working on this, and then we can start installing some of the parts and make some progress on the race car. We had some bad news, guys. Some people have done this. You forget to do your hood latches. That was me last time I went to the track, and look at this hood. It's dented. Somehow the windshield didn't break. It like barely touched the roof, didn't really do anything. But I ruined a hood and I don't feel good. I'm still sick. Threw up yesterday because of it. And it was the OEM Supra hood. I was at Cybon today and they said they're gonna work on getting me a hood for this car to replace it, so we'll make that all good again. It's kind of sad though, because that's just one more Supra part gone, but I'm gonna hang that on the wall. It's blue, we like blue, and this has Renee's really cool design, so hopefully she'll put this cool design on the Cybon hood on that part, and then we'll leave this part carbon. Alright you guys, I'm gonna move some stuff around and get ready to work on the race car. Turbo, keep it inside. Keep seeing cats out there that he wants to hunt. There's some wild alley cats. Alright Turbo, stay here. Willwood sent us one of these revised master cylinders. They have multiple kinds. This is the kind I had where I'd welded onto it. Not probably advised to do that, but it lasted 4 years and it's still going strong. But my elbow hits that all the time, and it kind of like rubs on my forearm and almost like tries to rip my race suit at times. Don't need that, do we? So this will make it with these banjos. Has a 7/16 banjo at the back, and then it has a 3/8 banjo at the front. The back is now the feed, so that's like your reservoir, and this will be your pressure out. When I put this guy, hey, no sneezing. When I put this in here, I gain minimum of 1 inch. Realistically, I'm gaining 1.5 inches, if not 2 inches. I didn't measure it, it's a guesstimate. I'm not gonna bump it anymore is basically what I'm saying. And then we do have to remake a -3 line, which goes to the back brakes, goes through that pass-through over there. So gotta make one of those, and then all stealth-like pass it through these holes that I drilled with rubber grommets, and somehow it fits that -3 straight through there. I don't even know why I did this with such great detail back then, but we have to admit it looks good, but that's gonna make a lot of extra work. This one has to reach up to here now and meet up with this crimp -3, so we'll do that, and then This hose is long enough so we can clean it out, cut it, and connect it now to this -4. Vicha is gonna work on all that. He's really serious today.
Every day, very serious.
Very serious guy. He's getting one step closer to driving his daily. He registered it today, and we don't know what might happen after he does that. Probably meet like 6 or 7 different girlfriends, and maybe he won't work here anymore because he'll always be with different girls.
I don't think so.
Let's hope he still works here. He's gonna work on that. You got an update. That's a good upgrade. Thank you, Willwood. And then Joe's back here doing something with these metal sticks. I don't know what he's doing.
I don't know what I'm doing either.
Okay, yeah, so we don't know what Joe's doing. Now that we've established that, let's move on. No. Joe's just building things for the fuel cell that looks similar to how it was, but a little bit further back by about 1 inch, right?
Probably about 1 inch, 1.5 inches.
So basically that's the only thing. The reason we're doing that is it got bent last year. We made everything work, but we're getting, FuelSafe is sending us new aluminum cans, and then we're gonna use the same cell because these Enduro cells kinda could go through anything, so it's ready to go for many more seasons. So we'll put the new Radium drop-in in there when the can comes. We're waiting on that, but Joe can build around this one, I think.
Should be right.
And then I'll be working on the front. And Turbo's working on Turbo Z's. Mike! That part is almost done. Joe has these 2 things in. He's got to do the sides and then straps underneath it. Then we build back ducting. After that, hoses and such. I'm gonna get the hatch out of that box over there. It's sad that we cut a brand new part from Cybon, but it's going on a race car that's gonna do some crazy stuff. What we're gonna do is cut out the section of the underskin of the hatch right here so that we can have this come down and just attach Sparco hood latches to this guy. And then after it's cut out, we can throw the struts on there, bolt it in, get it in place, and double check some stuff. Probably would have been smart for us to hit this with paint before we did that. Possibly we could still do that right now. As soon as the rear ducting is done, we can take it back apart. Maybe by the end of the weekend, Monday, we'll go to powder coat because we're waiting on bulkhead stuff here. We can start the wire harness, which Mark will be working on. We don't have a couple parts we thought we were gonna have for the weekend to build this, so then possibly I can't take this to powder coat yet, and it'll have to be the following week. I guess it's not the worst thing. We can just get this all situated, then go to the front of the car and start working on that. Lots to take in all at one point. We do have the subframe over at MB powder coating, so it'd be nice to get that in and get some other stuff situated too before we take that apart to double check and verify like where the diff sits in there and whatnot. But we kind of have an idea. I was gonna remake this, and I checked the size of the plug that goes to the O2 sensor. The wideband is close to this size hole. Plug is like big, you know, like let's say 1.25 inches by like a inch or 3/4 of an inch. So it fits through this hole, but then there's only 5 wires, and so I don't really want to. The wires themselves could go through a much smaller hole, but not the plug and not the other end of the O2 either. So you kind of need like a really flexible stretchy grommet that had a small hole, which I don't have, and I don't know where to find one really that I like. So I'm not sure if I should weld this shut and then bulkhead it and look for another spot to drill a hole that could utilize that, or if I should hold off on that because I could finish that in like a week or so. We're waiting on cutting out the firewall because we're not sure on the plug. We don't have it yet. That's a little bit of a dilemma. Many things. Let's keep going though. This is cool.
Yeah, I just tied them.
Because then these stay flush out of the way. We'll find out, but it might, when we pull on it, it might be too much travel. Like this one here is a 3/4 bore. See, we copied this one, but 3/4 bore doesn't move that much, but 3/4 bore with some really small single piston calipers, and my calipers are quad piston per side. So I just know that it's gonna move a lot, and I don't like the thought of that because I like it to be like and barely move. So we'll find out soon when we bleed it all in a couple weeks. But worst case scenario, I just deal with it at the beginning. But the only thing is, Willwood does not make a master of that style in a larger bore. If we had to switch it, I don't know how I would do such low profile feed and exit for the whole setup. Well, I don't know. We'll have to think about it. Turbo approved. We got the hatch mounted, but we still have more trimming of the new setup rear ducting. We're gonna have to give it a little more shaving on that part. It won't close right now, like a 1/4 inch or so. Joe got a little bit of this done. We'll do more.